Good morning, guys. So from now on, every morning, I'm gonna have these gamma levels put on automatically, right? I worked on this thing from Spot Gamma, and they give you the levels on your chart. Always wanted to do it, but I was just too lazy, I guess. Knew the levels, but I think this works great. So let's go on yesterday's levels, right? One thing that I did point out yesterday on the hourly chart, when the stock is really extended or any price action, when we see on SPX right here, from 4100 to 4600. Now this is valid on any stock, any price action, and you see a huge extension. And on a 1 hour candle, if you guys pay attention, when the stock is running up a lot, on a 1 hour candle, sometimes at strong resistances, you'll get these points right here on the hourly candle. One was right here, and one we got here. All right. And the first one did get rejected here because it was a nice little uptrend as soon as you took at the highs here. Let's see if you were to go short here on this candle on 18th March. Right, I'm just going to go over something. How would you play this? If you were to go short on this 18th March candle right here, which was a little tiny, it held near the above. As soon as, oh sorry, right here, this candle right here on an uptrend, as soon as this candle right here, the next one takes the high of this candle, it's wise that you stop out of your position. You'll take that SPY loss on 10-15 cents, whatever it may be. But even here, it did give some profits, but you can just stop out completely. All right. So you have to work the ratio in your favor. But then on the next one, we got some weakness here again, the same candle, right? And the 1 hour before that, you guys saw some selling here. So we were already seeing weakness. You could have played a SPY here, and this big move down, you would have recovered the losses you took here on the first play. And plus, this would have given you 100-200% at least return on SPY options alone. All right, and then we had the similar thing here, right here at the top yesterday. All right, that showed weakness, and if you caught this move, which happened to be above 46.20, there was another 100, 200, 300% to be made to the downside. So pay attention on hourly candles when something is really extended. All right, and then obviously you can zoom out to see the resistance levels as well, so that there's more probability of the play working. And yesterday we caught this entire move, sat through the entire voice chat, and you guys better talk to me today, all right? And we nailed the play. We did great, right? Live, we stayed in the planned state. Goldman Sachs was also providing his levels to play, so that was good. And today, if I go on the daily on SPX, we are showing some weakness here at the top, and on the spot gamma, the call wall has shifted higher towards 46.50. But again, after today, I think next week, once more setups happen, if the market continues, then we do have 46.50, even 4700 in play to the upside. Keep your option open. If you keep your option open to the upside and the downside, I think it will be easier to pull the trigger. Sometimes when you become biased, this happens with me also. If you're just fully looking for downside only, you end up not taking the long setups. All right, I've been in that situation on that boat many times myself. All right, so keep your options open. Let's see what happens here. Today we might get some weird prints on S&P with the JPM collar. Let's see if we catch those moves, and then we'll go on from there. Right now we're just near this supply and demand area, and let's see if these levels actually hold, or do they give us a bull flag, go right to 46.50, and then drop the market when everyone else loads up calls again, right? Because what the market is expecting right now, everyone's bullish. Everyone wants to buy calls, but the market is not that easy to trade. Trust me. They might do something like this, the flag, and then they might just give us a bullish candle towards 46.50, and then we'll see what happens in the call buying. Right? If the calls are coming in, is it gonna rip, or are they gonna drop the market? All of a sudden, some headline will come in March just to give a little dip, right? To wherever. So just keep these options open. Anything is possible. No idea. Going on to Finviz, DAX. I've been following this ticker for some time now, just trying to see the European markets. It is at the resistance, is building some weakness, but if this market starts coming down, if this gives up this 14,500 level, starts coming down, we should see weakness in North America as well, because it all started from here, remember? And then let's see how well this correlates, and if this can give us some hints beforehand. All right, and so just keep an eye on this. And if we go on VIX also, right, zoom in here. We are at this support. I mean, VIX, I don't really use support, resistance, nothing like this. I mean, it works different. It can have a random spike down. But we are at this support level. Let's see if they break this below and bring it towards 20 or even 18. All right, if that happens, then around the $18 level will be a good chance to play the market to the downside. All right, so let's see how they hold this up here, or do they just bear flag it and then bring it right back down. All right, so this will be an interesting thing to see how this one plays out. And also oil. Let's just go over oil. What happened? OPEC plus they released. I think they're releasing some reserve, right? So what happens here? They took the market up on oil. They gave it a little reversal sign, took it back up. Now they're showing weakness again, right? So let's see how oil plays out in the next 2-3 weeks, because even this reserve is not going to last too long. Maybe for a week or two it makes a difference, but how about the months after that, right? So it's not really that big of a deal, but for the short term, it's playing out well. All right, so oil is down quite a bit, and let's see how this one plays out. And Mr. Black, just for you, I'm gonna go over XOM since you mentioned. So XOM does look great. Pre-market it should open a little bit lower, right? But the stock is holding well. And I think it can, if it continues holding above this $80 level, above 50 MA, it's just building a stronger bull case scenario. So if you're buying calls on XOM, just buy time, in my opinion, so that if we do get a dip in the recent times, at least you can manage better. All right, so you don't lose too much on your options. So XOM, I do like the play, but I think it just needs more digestion here. Let's see how it plays out. Maybe it might test the 50 MA one more time, or maybe it holds up here. But I can tell you one thing: if XOM takes out $84.02 and holds above, this can probably go see 90 again. That will be a $6 move. All right, $84.02 if it takes out. All right, just write the number down. And another play that we're discussing live on voice chat was Baidu, right? Like, keep an eye on the 145 break. And I already have some positions, so I did not want to get too crowded with too many positions, right? Because it gets really hard to manage them in this market. And when this drop happened on the SEC news, right, that they might that they're on the delisting list, and that's pretty bad. That would be concerning for all the investors. And today pre-market, they're actually trading under 140. So this live on voice chat, we kept saying it. We also mentioned this name a few times. That if it breaks 145 after this rip, that if it takes out these lows, pay attention. It's a short. That's a short, right? So if you were on live on voice chat, said this many times, and it worked out great. It's at 143, and now we're opening at the support 140. All right, I did short equity in it, but I never got my fill. I think I missed it by a few cents because the drop just happened, and then I did not chase it. But the alert was sent, and now 140 is also a very strong support level. There's no doubt. So let's see if 140 zone, right, below is held. They might test these lows, which happen to be roughly 135, 136. So 135, 136, Baidu may test. Now that we're opening here, right, and then we see if it bounces off 135 or no. All right, if it makes a reversal, comes back up here again, then those news looks like they're gonna avoid it, and then it goes higher. But 135 and under breaks, then this has some gap fills, some serious things to fill down here. All right, same with Baba. It looks pretty, but then it starts looking ugly pretty fast. The only thing I see on Baba is just holding this 50 MA. This is another strangle candidate. But sometimes it can go sideways for a long time and then make a big move to the upside or downside. That's what it's been doing each time it got to the 50 MA. It holds on to it, it sits on it, and then it just waits for some sort of headlines to pop above or go below. So let's see what happens here. If I think we can get a pop above these highs, above 119, 120, Baba could be a candidate towards the 200 MA. So 140, that's a $20 move to the upside. All right. If we fail the 50 MA and we continue holding here, then the downside, obviously, we also have gaps. If Baidu comes down, I think Baba also will come down. So that's going to put the weakness on the entire sector. And there was some call selling going on in KWeb, in Crane shares. All right. There was some call selling going on here past few days. So it looks like they knew the news, right? So let's keep an eye on these names. Apple, let's just go over quickly. Nice little candle. Let's see today if it follows to the downside or do they hold the bull flag here. Alright, I'm just going to remove my drawings here. Let's go over the monthly charts now, what the title says. Monthly is super strong. However, if we close below the opening price of this, which is 177.60, if we close below the opening price of Jan, 177.50, you know what candle that's going to make? One thing that nobody on Twitter will teach you. Alright, this is something that no one taught me, but it's something that I think of on my own. We look at the daily candles, we look at the weekly candles, we look at the monthly candles, but how about the quarterly candles? Has anybody ever thought of that? Right? Quarterly candle. I don't really have the option here to do it, but I wish I did. So how would the quarterly candle look if we close below 177.60? It's going to be a huge red candle. It's going to be a huge red candle like this. This is a 3-month candle, Jan, Feb, and March. Alright, this is a 3 candles accumulated. So you basically take the opening price here. So the opening price here is 177.60 in January. If we close under for the monthly today, for me it's bearish. It's bearish for the next 3 months, not for April. Keep that in mind. Alright, so not for this month. It works for April, May, and June. Though for those 3 months put together. All right. So if we do run in April or even maybe May, there's a good chance we come down. I don't know. Like candles are not always right, but this is something to pay attention. All right. It's just so just keep an eye on this. If we close under 177.50, the opening of 177.60. All right. So this is something I'll put to test for the next 3 months. I'm not gonna know the results right now. I've done this in the past, but doing this after a long time again now, I was just looking at the monthly charts because Apple looks super bullish here on the monthly. So we might get the rip in April as well. April statistically is a strong month. So let's see how this one plays out. All right. And let's see. But if we do close under 177.60, then I definitely will not buy leaps on Apple. But Apple definitely does look strong on the monthly. Cannot ignore this fact. Right, we made the lower lows each month, and now we took out the highs of last month. Right, this one candle entire was huge volatility. Right, we took over. So let's see how this one plays out. Amazon also on the monthly, very bullish candle, but again, the last 3 months, if you put together, it's a cross. Right. Let's see how this one plays out, and. But on the monthly, it is bullish. I think if we continue holding these levels, or 3400 hold is what I'm looking at on the daily. I'm looking for a 3400 solid hold. If I get that and we start making a bullish pattern, then maybe I will add some leaps on Amazon just for sake of it. That if it does run, they will be worth the risk and reward. If it doesn't work, I'll just cut them maybe for 30 or 40% loss. Like those options will move up or down a lot, right? 30-40% loss versus 200-300% profits. So the ratio should be in my favor, at least 5-1. So if I'm making 5 plays like this, even if I hit 2, that winning percentage takes out the losing percentage. All right. Sometimes these plays take a long time to play out, and so nailed Amazon leaps in the past many times, but 3400 will be the key number here. And then obviously, if we ever take out 3725, then shorter dated options for me will come into play, and then we'll see what happens there. All right. Google also, same scenario as Apple and Amazon on the monthly candles. And tech saw some selling yesterday from hedge funds, right? I posted that chart from Bank of America. That hedge funds were actually selling tech yesterday, so I don't know how accurate that is and what that exactly they were trying to say. But it's in the premium chat if you just want to go and look at it. Monthly is a super bull flag. This is a very bullish chart. I don't want to ignore the fact that this is not bullish. This is bullish. All right. So we do have a split coming up. Sorry about my flag. We do have a split coming up on Google and Amazon, and if the market holds and these stocks hold, and then we can definitely rip up a lot more. All right. So don't ignore the upside, but downside we'll know right away. If we see weakness and myself, LB, T, Sachs, downside we will not miss, and then we have Bucky. Downside we will definitely not miss. The upside, keep your doors open, right? Anything is possible in the market, but the charts do look bullish, so upside is definitely possible. All right, pins. Posted a trade idea yesterday on our Instagram that if for the I'll go on the daily chart as well, but the monthly here opened at 26.61. So if we can get like a 26.90 close today, which is possible, so on a $1.20, $1.30 move to the upside, if we close green on the monthly, that would be a huge reversal candle on Pinterest. All right, so keep an eye. But if we close red, I mean, it can still reverse. Not like candles are not always true. Right, I mean here we got something similar, and look at this huge rip that happened, right? So just keep an eye on Pinterest also. The play that's in play on Pinterest right now is a strangle, in my opinion. All right, we did post this on Instagram in our story. Just check it out. It is a strangle play. I would probably go 8 to 10 weeks out. So Nilla, the top dog, if you're listening, I know you guys love playing strangles. I would probably go 8 to 10 weeks out, buy a $30 strike, and then buy a $22 strike. Right. Remember on PLTR when we did the strangle, people are like, oh, it's not gonna go $12, and then how did PLTR pay? PLTR paid us to the downside, right? When everyone was bullish. So Pinterest is anything is possible if the market gives up, is not able to go above the 50 MA, then obviously it can come and fill this gap towards 22, 21, and these strangles should go up nice. And if it rips up here, then we got the 30 calls, we should overtake the losses from the put and then pay as well. All right. So strangle is pay on Pinterest, and look at the monthly closings, guys. Then we see what happens. And we'll go on from there. We will be in voice chat as always. Trading live. This market requires a lot of patience. If you're just doing this for fun, you work in here to make some quick money, it's gonna be hard. Then you're basically walking a casino. Let's be honest, right? Okay. And very cautious with my trades. Taking it very slow for the last 2-3 months. There's no doubt. Caught the nice downside in Jan. Missed the rally. That's fine. But let's see what happens here. God bless. We'll see you guys in the chat.